events that we are having provide support for the party. These are party members. And as I told you, you may will know that an individual may be member of this, member of that at the same time. So I think that we need to understand how these things work so that in offering or proffering solutions, we'll be able to touch on where exactly it is and provide proper recommendation for the way forward for our parties and our country.
Zabodu.
Yes, my lord.
Our police force, and we have other internal security agencies. Why do we need men outside these forces to provide security?
We as political parties, it will be very difficult for police to provide, particularly if you have groups of people who outnumber the police at a particular polling station. We've had occasions where ballot boxes are snatched. We've had occasions where even voters queuing to vote are prevented from doing so. And sometimes the police seem helpless. I'll give you a typical example. In 2006, 2007, thereabouts, there was re-registration exercise, and I was in Tamale. I got to the polling station. The police was sitting very far from where the registration exercise was going on. And you can see clearly people that are not of age, by their size, you can see. So I asked the policeman, these people registering obviously are not up to the voting age. They said, so when we also copy more. You can understand.
If you can translate that.
To wait means, if I have seen that they are not of voting age, I should go and sack them from the queue. And you can imagine what it will look like in a polling station in Tamale. I was then the National Youth Organizer, if I should call it the National Youth Organizer. The National Youth Organizer of a New Patriotic Party, sacking people or removing people from the queue. You could imagine what this will have led to.
Mr. Bodu.
Yes, my lord.
The commission has been given two different explanations as to ownership of these, for want of a better description, vigilante groupings. One is that these groupings are owned by the leading political parties. Then there is a second opinion that says that they are actually owned and sponsored by individuals within the political parties, even though the political party is the ultimate beneficiary. Do you share any of these two thoughts?
You can have a combination of a lot of positions as to how these groups are financed and their operations. For us in the New Patriotic Party, we don't sponsor these groupings. But these groupings may have relationship with individuals in the party. So, for instance, as I sit here, if there's an event that a member of our party, who may happen to be a member of whatever grouping exists, loses, let's say, the parent, and comes to me for support, I'll support him because he's a member of the party. But by extension, he may be a member of other groupings, you know. So that is one. The second aspect is the motivation that informs the forming of some of these groupings. I can say without mincing words that if you look at a grouping like Invisible Forces, for instance, it was formed around the time that these individuals felt that the state was not in the position to defend and protect members of the party. Because, for instance, what happened in Agboboloshi, clear example of attack on members of our party that was not resolved at all. You hear of police investigation into this, police investigation into that. Nothing happens. It was formed around the time that we went to Akwetia, where just 6 polling stations. It was difficult for us. You see people who were clearly not voters in a particular polling station coming to vote in the name of people. That people in that polling station recognizes that, Shaibu, voter register, Ukraine, Akwesi Meno, but Shaibu votes. The police was helpless, electoral commission was helpless, and all that. So sometimes it depends on the exigencies of the time that motivate some of these groupings. So your 2 reasons can be true, but there are other reasons, as I've told you, motivate the thriving of some of these groupings.
Mr. Boadu.
Yes, my lord.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've informed the commission that the New Patriotic Party doesn't own any of these vigilante groupings. Am I right?
You are right, my lord.
Very well. But then, there's been a call by the president that the 2 major political parties should sit down and fashion out a way of disbanding these vigilante groupings.
The reason is that if you look at our 4th republic, between the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Party, if you take the presidential vote, we've been sharing close to 95-96% all the time throughout the period. If you look at the events that we complain about, it's more or less between New Patriotic Party, although we don't own these these groups, but they have sympathies for the New Patriotic Party and have sympathies for the National Democratic Party. In that National Democratic Congress, in that sense, and as you also noted, that most of these groupings or individuals, you can trace their funding to individuals in political parties. And the motivation that leads to forming of some of these groupings as a result of the seemingly siege of the political party. So it's time to reason that if a conversation between these 2 major dominant parties begins and the trust is established in an open manner, it will go a long way in reducing some of these needless attacks on ourselves.
Now, will you agree with me, for instance, that if from the reasons you've given for the existence of some of these groupings, if the police, for instance, is to be empowered to be able to protect ballot boxes and prevent all these other reasons for which these groupings exist, there wouldn't be the need for these groupings?
Yes, my Lord, you are right. In addition to that, we should have a government that is also willing to go the full hog in support, political will, in supporting our security agencies to implement their mandate.
Now, it's been almost a week since the president's call. Since you are from the New Patriotic Party, what efforts have been made from your side towards the president's call?
Yeah, since the president made that call, our national chairman, Honorable Freddie Blee, had gotten in touch with the national chairman of the NDC of a possible meeting between the two parties. As part of the discussion, our national chairman was made aware that the NDC had just finished their flag bearership race and they've lined up series of activities. So within that week, coupled with the fact that the national chairman himself is, there's this tape that is making the rounds, and I think that he's dealing with that as well. So we've not been able to schedule a meeting, but there's an ongoing discussions. We've also seen that the NDC had also taken the lead in acknowledging the president's position that he has taken and written to the president and copied the national chairman. By that, copied the New Patriotic Party. So I think that is a good start for us.
Mr. Bodu.
Yes, my Lord.
So by the acts from your side and on the other side, can you assure the commission that there is that will to meet, have those discussions, and I don't know if disbanding is the right word, but do the needful?
Yes, my Lord.
Thank you, Mr. Bodu. Mr. Chairman, your witness.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Bodu.
Yes, my Lord.
You are the General Secretary or the Acting General Secretary?
I am the General Secretary of the party. I acted as General Secretary from December 2015 to June 2018. And I was elected at our conference that was held in Koforidua as the substantive General Secretary of the party.
All right. I ask because there is this report in the, I think, by Star FM, where you are reported as the Acting General Secretary of the NPP, and it says that you said that vigilante groups such as the Invisible and Delta Forces are part of the NPP and will continue to exist. That statement is attributed to you. Correct?
The part of the... it depends on how they put it, but just as I've said before you, that these are members of our party that have sympathy for the New Patriotic Party. To that extent, my Lord, yes.
It is also stated in this report that speaking to Bolare on Star Chat on Wednesday, and the date is not mentioned, you said the vigilante groups are essential to the party. And let me read to you a quote that is attributed to you. In quote, "In times of peace, people think that they must not prepare for war. It is rather in times of peace that you should always prepare. I'm giving you the background of what we found ourselves to the extent that our headquarters was vandalized, all our resources, our materials were destroyed. We must protect ourselves. We must make sure that at least our properties and persons are protected. It is for that reason that we have young men who help in protecting us, and I'll support them any day. That's not to say that they must take the law into their own hands. No, they must work within the law. They exist, they'll continue to exist.
My Lord.
That's correct.
Yes, my Lord.
That was a statement that you made.
Yes, my Lord.
Do you stand by this statement that they will continue to exist?
Yes, my Lord.
In spite of the statement made by the President?
My Lord, this is a state. That's why it will be helpful to me if I know the exact date, because you are referring to a particular event that occurred to the extent that our headquarters by morning 5 a.m. had been vandalized by a group of people that some of them were arrested, is still in court anyway, my Lord. On that score, having members of our party providing protection for us is something that we are going to continue to have as a party. That is different from disbanding groups that have operations that frowns on the law. And my Lord, you did indicated in the said report that I went further to state that whatever groupings must work within the ambit of the Lord, my Lord.
You don't remember when you made this statement?
I don't, if I know the date, because if you refer to it as when I was acting General Secretary, then it will be between December 2015 to June or July 2018, my Lord.
I believe it's February 8th. Okay, so it's in 2018, February 8th, 2018.
I associate myself with that statement, and I will not be surprised. I will make that statement any day, that members of our party who provide support, we have different supports in our political architecture. Some do campaigning, some do door-to-door, some are ushers, some provide support for our party, and we will continue to have them. But they must work within the law. And we have a president that will not also condone any act that is outside our constitution. And we will forcibly support any action to make sure that if somebody, even if it's a member of the party, acts outside, he's dealt with by the laws of our country.
So, in effect, you are saying that these groups will continue to exist, but you're going to make sure that they act within the confines of the law.
My Lord, it depends on the group you are talking about. I'm saying that.
I'm referring to these groups, the invisible forces, Delta forces, which are associated, or to use your expression, have sympathies for the party. You are saying that these groups will continue to exist, but you think that they should work within the law, within the framework of the law?
No, my Lord, with all due respect, by where we are now, with the call from the President, with the acknowledgement of the call from the President from our main opponent, that we should sit down to look at the activities of these groupings. Depending on the outcome, we are law-abiding political parties, and it doesn't serve anybody, particularly when some of these groupings go outside or act in a manner that frowns on our laws. So I think that's where we are. Any discussion and the outcome of any discussion, in addition to the recommendation that this August committee is expected to come, we are ready to work with it, my Lord.
You also stated that the police in many situations are helpless. They are unable to act when you expect them to act. And that is why you need these groups to act in situations where the police are helpless. Is that correct?
Yes, my Lord.
And therefore, unless the police or the security agencies are strengthened, then you will still have cause to, you will still need these groups.
My Lord, if the security agencies are strengthened, that alone is not enough. Having the mutual trust between ourselves and our main opponent, as I said, we constitute almost close to 95%. If all of us agree that there's no point in, even if they have sympathies, we don't owe them. We should be able to rein them in and ensure that we have a police service that we can all respect and trust, my Lord.
Said governments must show the political will to strengthen the police or the security forces. Can you, am I say exactly what you said?
I added that as an addition to a question that I was asked, that if political parties or the security agencies are strengthened, would that be enough? I say, yes, it is good, but we must have government that are ready to also help them to be independent and also resource them. If that commitment, political will does not come, it makes it difficult for us to have what we have. So the setting up of this commission, with all the violence and atrocities that we've seen over the years, we've never had the opportunity like this. With all the violence we've seen, we've never had a government that have decided that even if you have sympathies towards me, if you act outside the bounds of the law must deal with you. That's exactly what I mean, my Lord.
So are you suggesting that your government, which is in power at the moment, has not demonstrated the political will to strengthen the police?
On the contrary, my Lord, my government is demonstrating the political will to find lasting solution to this menace. My Lord, thank you.
But still, as at now, you don't have confidence in the police to, for example, protect you or to protect the ballot box during elections.
My Lord,
as of now,
I think that with where we are, and the president opened the conversation for the major political parties, I know that particularly reading the tone of the letter from the NDC chairman, acknowledging and accepting the opportunity for this platform for such an important discussion, we will get there, my Lord.
Why do you think the police sometimes seem helpless to act when they're expected to act? For example, you said that at a particular polling station, you drew attention of the police to the fact that minors were voting, and the police officer told you that you must go and stop them from voting.
My
now,
Lord, in my thinking,
why do you think that the police are unable to act in situations like that? Why do you think that they seem helpless?
My Lord, in my thinking and observation, it seems to me that if the government have the political will to support police people or security agencies to act in situations like that and support them irrespective of who engages in the atrocities, the police will be strengthened. Because with my discussion with the police commander in Esutufi when that event, as I described to this honorable commission, happened, in my discussion with him, the impression is that if you are not very careful, you'll be transferred to an area that will be detrimental to your own career in terms of your children's schools and all the social tidings and establishment that you've gotten staying in a particular. So transfers and demotions and other things are things that put fear in the police to act. But I can say that even on that day, with all these points that I've made, the police commander at that place acted. Strangely enough, in the morning when he was called by readers, he said, I will not speak.
In effect, what you are saying is that the police service has been politicized, and so they are unable to act because they fear that sanctions might be imposed when they take certain actions.
I may not say maybe patronage.
Patronage?
Yes, my lord.
What do you mean by patronage?
Patronage by supporting the government of the day for not doing things that seem to have reigned in on political actors that have sympathies to members of political parties of government of the day.
Are you suggesting that the appointment process of, for example, the IGP should be reviewed?
My lord, you want my opinion on that?
Yes.
Maybe a broader way of looking at the appointment will be helpful. Particularly, notice a professional institution. And I think that they must have their own way of succession. And if even government will come in, it should be broader than what we see.
What about the appointment of the electoral commissioner? Do you think that appointment process also needs to be reviewed or reformed?
My lord, looking at our constant division or mistrust amongst political actors, I think that so far, you may have all sorts of reasons, but we've been able to have successful elections from 1992 to 2016, and even the just ended elections. I think that so far so good. We may have our challenges, yes.
Council asked you whether you know this gentleman called Double. Do you know anybody by that name?
My lord, if I see the picture of the
I think we have a
individual
video.
or the gentleman, it
Do we
will
have
be
a
helpful.
video in which he appears? Can you recognize the person
Which of them?
standing next to the police officer? Counsel, can you show him the...
The pictures, can you get another one? The picture. Just want to be sure. Just want to be sure. Yes, yeah.
You recognize the individual shown in that video?
Yes, my lord.
And he's called Double?
Yes.
And was he a member of the Invisible Forces?
I know him to be a member of the New Patriotic Party.
Oh.
I haven't seen him in... I don't know for a fact that he's a member of the Invisible. I know him to be a member of the party.
You can't confirm whether he was ever a member of the Invisible Forces or he was a member of those groups that are there to protect you.
No, he's not even a member of internal security, even at the headquarters. He comes around in those days. Now, I normally see him at the airports. I think that he's working there. That's what I know. I know him as a member of the party. I know him Double. He's not a member of internal security at the headquarters.
But do you know that he's now a member of the national security? He's a national security operative.
I don't know, but I normally see him at the airport, particularly when the new airport had not been commissioned. He was. I always see him at the VIP section. Yeah, my lord.
Now, would you agree with the statement that members of the Invisible Forces or members of the groups sympathetic to your party have been incorporated into the national security?
My lord, I don't know. All the members that we've been working with at the headquarters providing security for us are still there. They are still there. Ali, Robert, they are still there. And for him, I didn't even know him as a member of Invisible Force in the first place. He's a member of our party, and of late, I normally see him when the old airport had the VVIP session. I normally see him there. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boedu, for your testimony.
Thank you very much.
A few questions. Mr. Boedu, you describe the people we are talking about as not being a standing group, but they are members of the party, and as and when you call upon them, they get together and do whatever they are required to do, right?
Yes, my lord.
But do you know, before standing armies became the norm, that was how armies operated?
I have not studied the security evolution, and I'm not in a position to know, my lord.
I can appreciate that, but standing armies were not always the norm. In our traditional society, we didn't have standing armies, but we fought wars.
Yes, my lord.
So the fact that they can be mobilized at short notice to perform these tasks should tell you that they are a group, however you wish to characterize them?
My Lord, just as I said, for instance, at the headquarters, we have skeletal security arrangements by our members who protect our officers. Depending on an event, just as I told this Honorable Commission, that on the set day that I was going to observe the registration exercise, when I got to Ashanti region, I informed the party to provide me with young men that can provide support for me, that can accompany me to observe the exercise. And they provided me with some few people to join me, my Lord.
What work do these young men do when there are no registration processes to observe?
Some of them are business people. Some of them do their own individual work. I know one particular gentleman, when before 2016, he was a business, he deals in cattle, sheep, and goats, goes to Burkina Faso and other places to bring them for sale at Agogloshi. He used to bring me some in those days. Now, I don't see him. But in events, say we have by-election or have any other activities that need the support of these, he comes around. Immediately after that, he goes to ply his trade. That is an example that I know.
How did you feel when you heard that members of some group had chased out somebody sent to Kumasi as national security something? You remember the incident?
Yes.
How did you feel?
I felt it was a regrettable event.
How did you feel when you heard that Honorable Akoto had been chased out of a meeting he himself had called?
It's also something that was not right. And I know in that example in particular, the security agencies are on the heels of the individual that did that. Some of them were arrested, and I think the process is ongoing.
How did you feel when you heard that some people were chasing out of office a hospital administrator or a hospital administration official from office?
My Lord, any act that is not within the law and it's not allowable, in most of these cases, I even issue statements condemning some of these acts.
Are you beginning to worry that these groups are getting insolent? Let me put it that way.
To a large extent, with the will that the state or through the president is injecting and ensuring that individuals, either from that group or from any other group that commit acts that is outside the bounds of our law, are to be dealt with. I think that is the way forward. And with all that is going on, with the setting up of this commission, with the possible conversation and discussion that we're going to have with political parties to determine the platform and what, I think that we will gradually get a hold on such activities.
So do you think these groups should continue to exist?
I think that with where we are, my Lord, no.
So we agree. Is creating insecurity all around?
Yes, my Lord. It is in our interest to do so, my Lord. And
we agree that there comes a time in the life of any nation when people of courage must stand up and do the right thing.
Yes, my Lord, and this is the time, my Lord.
I thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. John. I'll ask you only 2 questions, but I'll proceed with a number of sentences which I'm sure, with your experience as a Ghanaian and as an experienced political operator, you may agree with before I come to the question. Number 1, with the police. You know the structure of the Ghana police. You know that the IGP is appointed by a president he doesn't have to give any reasons. He can be dismissed by the president. Doesn't have to give any reasons. From assistant commissioner to deputy commissioner to commissioner. Again, after the police council has considered the paper in front of them, they submit a name to the office of the president, and people are appointed or left out. Again, the president doesn't have to give any reasons. And you know from your experience in this country, and you may not know, but from experience in the 50s up to now, people have been dismissed or have been bypassed in promotions without reasons being given. And you know that the president's action, any president, are backed by the law, the constitution that we operate. And that virtually there's been no change in those aspects of the constitution that govern the police from the First Republic until now. And therefore my question is, with the structure of the police, the way they operate, the atmosphere in which they operate, do you think it is possible for them to be, as you said, firm, fair, objective in such instances as happened in Yendi or Tripoli, especially as you said, as you know that sometimes people are transferred to outlandish places. Do you think it is possible for them to exhibit what one writer has said, animal boldness, in quote, for the police to exhibit animal boldness in this environment?
My Lord, before we even decide whether we want to amend that aspect, I think that if you have a government that have the political will of protecting and rewarding rights officers, doing their work without discrimination to whoever is involved in an act that is not within the confines of our laws. If you have a government that want to do that and we insist on doing that, even with the present arrangement that we have, we'll still have the police or our security agencies acting in the interest of all of us.
Good, John. So it comes to a certain president's character and his behavior and his belief in the systems. And I wish I wouldn't have to use my person, but I've always told people that I was lucky in the sense that what I know has happened to other IGPs in the form of persistent interference, that didn't happen in my time. And that the only time somebody came and said, the president said I should do something, I went to him and he said, I don't interfere in the work of my chief executives. If I want to tell you something to consider, I'll call you myself. So go forth and do what you think is right. But what I mean is, I don't want a situation where what the police do depends on the president, and that you have one president who will do what you are saying, another president who will not do what you are saying. So don't you think that we need laws to back the police? Like if you meet any British police constable, he says, I'm accountable to the law. And he decides to take an assistant commissioner to court for a minor traffic violation, and the assistant commissioner is forced to resign even before the court process is finished. That's what I'm referring to.
You have an experience in that, and I think that if we want to tweak the law to make the police more assertive and independent. Each citizen will be happy to see it happening. But we must be mindful. You see, in not just the police, the public service, civil service, need to be bold. The use of names by so-called from above sometimes is abused, and most often it may not be true. I, even as General Secretary, have situations where people even are using Facebook accounts with my name and my pictures on it, duping people around. And you'll be surprised that people with their background will have checked. People who even know me will simply will have put in a call to know whether I'm the one chatting. But normally we are gullible in some of these things. We just accept it because sometimes the person is also in need, so they get swindled by. So the use of authority name is sometimes also the reason. But I think that boldness and the political will to support officers doing the right thing, irrespective of individuals involved, will also serve as a signal to all and sundry to also act in the right manner.
Thank you. Then secondly, the electoral process. All this business of the police protecting or not protecting, the army protecting or not protecting. Do you think that if we improved our electoral process to the position where maybe you go with your identity card, whatever genuine identity card that other countries have, and it is checked by the presiding officer, checked on an electronic system, not by face of something. And therefore, if the machine says you are not Shaibu or Kwakumensan, as you said, whether the police or the party agents, they cannot force you to vote because the machine will not approve that you vote, isn't it? If we are able to improve our electoral system gradually, then it will come to a point where most of the activities of the security services in elections, maybe about 60-70% that we have now, will not be relevant. We'll make them irrelevant.
I think so. Only that we must also sometimes not beat ourselves too much. We've evolved dramatically from the time we started, particularly our Fourth Republic, where we were voting with opaque ballot boxes. We didn't have even voter register in thumb print, and all that. We've come to a point where we are even biometrically vetting and verifying and vouching for voters. The political awareness, I think, if it is raised, will get to a point that you will not see any reason why you should be exported, so to speak, from some unknown destination to a place that we are just holding by elections, of which its impact will not even affect the composition of parliament. It is something that I think that we need to look at as political actors. These by-elections that don't have effects of changing the composition of parliament, maybe we can look at it. But for instance, this by-election, if the MPP had lost, we'll still come back to 168, we still have the simple majority in parliament, and it doesn't make any difference. The only difference is the political propaganda that will be used around. We've won 169, it's still a majority. But if it is to be a critical election, where winning or losing the election will give you an overwhelming majority, that will have an impact of your ability on your own to either change laws or be able to effect some changes. That one, we can say that it is important to have by-elections to be able to determine that critical times. But in most, from 1992, that we had first by-election in Jirapa, for instance, almost all the elections are not critical elections. So maybe in addition to looking at the security architecture, we can also look at the political architecture and see whether something can be done about it.
My last question is not a question. The crest on your left breast, is it a crest for the hawks or the invisible forces? Which of the forces? Or this morning we've heard of green mambas. Did you know of them? Have you heard of them?
I heard of them, I think, 2 months ago when it was launched by, I think, the organizer of the NDC in the Eastern region.
Oh,
But this crest is General Secretary's crest.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Buelu, thank you very much for your testimony.
Thank you very much, my Lord.
You may leave now.
Okay.
We'll take the victim. We'll take the victim.
The Commission would like to call Hamidou Amidou to be sworn in to give his evidence. The Commission would like to call Hamidou Amidou step forward to be sworn in to give his evidence.
What's the name again?
Amadou.
Amadou. Can you please come forward?
Hamidou Amadou. Hamidou Amadou, would you please hurry up?
Give it to me. Give it to me. In the absence of Mr. Hamidou Amadou, is Mr. Benjamin Tego around?
Mr. Hamidou Amadou, what would you like to swear by? The Bible, the cross, or the Quran?
But we don't know them. We don't know them. We can't import it. Yeah.
Client says he wants to speak in Hausa, and we don't have an interpreter that we can vouch for. So we'll not be able to take his testimony now. We'll have to arrange to get an interpreter. So you may leave now.
The commission would like to call Benjamin Tego to step forward to be sworn in to give his evidence. Benjamin. Mr. Benjamin Tego, what would you like to swear by? The Bible, the cross, or the Quran? Mr. Tego, please repeat after me. I, please state your name, do hereby swear by the Bible that the evidence that I shall give before this commission of inquiry shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Nothing by the truth, so help me God.
Please be reminded that by the oath you have taken, you have made a promise to speak the truth, and the failure to do so constitutes an offense for which you will be liable to punishment.
Well, go ahead, please.
Mr. Tego, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Now, will you, for the purposes of the record, mention your full name to the commission?
I'm Benjamin Tego.
Mr. Tego, what do you do by way of profession?
I'm an electrical technician.
And where do you live?
I live at East Legon, Bawalish.
How far is your residence from that of the parliamentary candidate of the NDC in the last by-election?
It was about 150 meters from the MP's house.
Now, you have come in as an eyewitness, am I right?
Yes, my lord.
In the sense that you witnessed the incident that took place in and around the house of the parliamentary candidate, am I right?
Yes, my lord.
In the morning of the 31st of January, 2019, where were you around 7?
Around 7 o'clock, I was exactly at the MP's house.
Why were you there?
Yeah, I was passing to go to vote. And when I got there, I saw the crowd. Some that have joined the Mahindra vehicles. They said they are going for their polling stations. And I knew somebody among the crowd, so I stopped and started having chat with him.
Now, this crowd you talk about, can you put a number to them? How many roughly would you say they were?
Roughly, there will be almost about 50 to 60 people around that vicinity.
If you say that vicinity,
That
where exactly
in the area there, yeah, where the Mahindra vehicle, and then in front of the MP's house.
Where exactly was this Mahindra vehicle?
Yes, these Mahindra vehicles were parked just at the curve of the main house. When getting to his house, you have to turn left before you get to his main entrance. But the cars were parked at the side there, at the curve there.
Is it in that alley leading to Labawoleshi or the Presby School direction?
The lane that leading to the Brock factory. The lane that leading to the Brock factory where the weddings are. Where?
And this group of 50 plus, were they all in front of the house or somewhere in the house?
Somewhere in the house. But actually, I didn't enter into the house. But somewhere in the house because I heard people then in the house talking.
Now, you got to the area around 7, you said. Am I right?
Yes, my lord.
And you saw a number of gentlemen?
Yes, my lord.
According to you, some of them were boarding some Mahindra vehicles.
Yes, my lord.
Am I right? All right. And what else did you observe?
Yeah, it was there when I was talking to a young man. We stopped because he was also then going to vote. So we started chatting. It was there when I saw this black. I saw some others running from the direction of the primary school where the wooden stretcher was. I saw some coming from that direction. So I said, what is happening? But actually, I stopped. I didn't run. I stopped, and I was watching. And when they ran, they reached there. They advanced to the vehicle. And the people there were trying to challenge them that what did they want? They were in black top and then khaki trousers with this mountain boot. So it's like they were asking them what did they want, and they said they are making search. So they said, what search are you coming to make here? Out of that, they started with the exchange of words. So they try to push them. They try to sack them from the scene. They tried to sack them from the scene. So it was there I started watching them. And those that coming from the park lane, because they passed through Connex, there was some way, a path that you can pass to the MP's house. So they passed there. Those that came from that direction, they were forcing that they will enter into the house. But there was one guy I saw in the military camouflage with this mesh on top of his head. He opened the first shot, and then people started running. But he was in the direction of the primary school. So after opening the first shot, people started advancing, going direct to him. And we went there, I went there to ask him whether he was a military or is a military personnel. Because even to see his dressing, it tells me that he's not a military man. But when I was going, by then he was also moving ahead. Then he went to the main street, and I have to return with other guys, and I came to the scene. Yeah.
Now, you have just informed the commission that a certain man dressed in a military uniform was the first to open fire.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, man.
Are you able to tell the commission what caused this gentleman to open fire?
My Lord, when they came and they started making the search, and the crowd jumped on them that no, they don't know what they are coming to do. And with the crowd, I think I don't know, but he opened the shot so that people will run out from the scene. And he didn't get it easy, so he has to escape from the scene.
Now, this gentleman opened fire.
Yeah.
What was the direction of?
Yeah, he was at the closest to the fitting shop. There's a fitting shop closer to the container that they opened fire to. So he was at the pole there. That is exactly where he opened fire.
Was it directed towards the crowd?
No. For the first open fire he opened, he gave a warning shot.
How many times?
One.
Now, did you see Honorable Sam George on the day at the scene?
Yes, my Lord, I saw him.
At what point did you see him?
I saw him in the front of the MP's house, at the main entrance.
Was it before or after the gentleman opened fire?
Yes. When he opened the fire before even I saw Sam George.
And you didn't see this gentleman you are describing with Honorable Sam George, did you?
No. I didn't see him.
Not at any point
No,
in time
I
at
saw
all.
him going, but he was not closer to Sam George then.
Now, did you observe anything else?
What I observed was the young guys who came with this black top with the, I think, khaki trousers, with this mountain boot. Yes, they were forcing to enter into the main house. So I was among those who was trying to prevent them to enter into the house. Yes, I was among those who were, we prevent them from entering into the MP's house.
Now, he said you prevented them from entering the MP's house.
Yeah.
Why did you have to do that?
Yes, one thing is, I look at them and they are dressing. My Lord, I found that they are not military men and they are not police men. So at the rate they came and they were forcing to enter, we decided not to allow them.
Now, what if you were told that those gentlemen were on an assignment for the state?
My Lord, what I know is we have security personnel like military men and the police. But with the addressing, I don't know if the state can assign people like that to, because they are not in military uniform and they are not in police uniform. So I cannot say they are either police or military.
You cannot say whether they are other security or military, and yet you had reasons together with a group of men to prevent them.
Yes, my Lord, we prevent them because coming to at that crucial time and the way they were reacting, you cannot easily allow them to enter. So we were asking them where they were coming from. It was no response. And they were quiet looking at us. So we said, okay, fine. They started asking them to go back. So they just went from the main entrance, if I would say, about 5 meters away from the main entrance. So they create a wall like that over there. And the crowd too were just in front of them, that they did not allow it. So they were looking at each other. They couldn't even have the chance to enter. And out of that, what I saw was there was a stone that thrown from nowhere. And then among those black and khaki, one opened a shot. So when they open the fire, they give about 2 warning shots at the top. And then the crowd started running. But I stood at a point where I can even see them. So I was just watching them by the side of the main building.
Mr. Tego.
Yes, my Lord.
You have just observed men you do not know who have given warning shots. People are running away, and yet you said you stood and observed them?
Yes, my Lord. There is a place where you stand, because it wasn't an open place where we can all run or take cover. But what happened, I hid by the side of the building. There were 2 containers, about 4 containers over there. So when you are there, you are seeing them. So after the 2 warning shots, all the warning shots that were coming was a direct shot.
Mr. Tego.
Yes, my Lord.
All the warning shots that were coming were direct shots. What do you mean by that?
Yes, my Lord. When I say direct shot, they were shooting direct to the people, not warning shot. They were shooting direct to the crowd, the people. So you know why people were running? Even, you can see, I don't know, but there were some trees over there. Some even hide behind the tree. Yet still, they were even shooting direct to. And some bullets even enter into the, hit the wood, the tree. Some enter into the containers. Some enter into cars and others. By then I was there. I decided not to go until one police officer, I don't know the rank, but maybe it might be ASP or DSP, who came down with his boys. ASP, yes, ASP. I saw at the top of his chest. It's Asari. He came with his boys and I asked what is going on and I narrated a story to them. So it was the boys who entered too, and those guys with the black and khaki trousers, they all went away. And he came and stopped and made sure that the place was calm.
Mr. Tego.
Yes, my lord.
The man in a military uniform.
Yeah.
And
it's in camouflage.
Military camouflage.
Yeah.
Thank you. And these other people in khaki and black, did they come together?
Yes. Well, they all came together. Some came on this direction, on the other side, and these people also came from the other side there. They didn't come at one line, on the one place, but they came in different direction. From the main school building, the wooden stretcher there, and the others also passed through that park there. There's a way out there you can enter into the MP's office.
So from your observation, you would say they were together in a group. Is that it?
Yes, I can say.
Now, what was the interval between the gunshot by the man in military camouflage and the second gunshot?
The distance where the features are and where they open the other the two shots will be about 50 meters. It's less than 50 meters. It's less than 50 meters. Yeah.
What about in terms of time between the first shot and the second shot?
Oh, the first shot, after the first shot happens, he ran away. Let me put it that way, because he was then going. So he ran away, joined the main road, and he left the scene. But the second shot took a time. The second shot took a time, because that was the time that we create a wall that they shouldn't force to enter into the MP's house.
Now, you said you saw Honorable Sam George at the scene.
Yes.
Was he present as at the time these warning shots were given?
Yes, I saw him in front of the house when he was talking. He was then, talking because I don't know why you've come to the scene and you were trying to beat people around it. He was talking. But when the gunshot started taking place, I don't see where he went.
Mr. Tego.
My lord.
According to Mr. Sam George, he was with this gentleman you have described as being a military camouflage as at the time the first gunshot went off. What would you say?
My lord, what I saw the gentleman after giving the warning shot. He turned, he was going. But St. George, when I saw him, he was standing in front of the MP's house, the main entrance.
Mr. Tego.
Yes, my lord.
I want you to watch this video and tell me whether you can identify that gentleman in the video, the one in military camouflage you are describing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want a replay?
Yeah.
Very well.
I can also go on my body now, and to be nasty, it to be raw.
He's not among this group.
He's not among this group. Did you see it very well?
Yes, my Lord.
And you could make out every single person in there?
I saw Sam George among them.
Okay.
But the one in the camouflage is what I'm watching, but I didn't see him.
Didn't see him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're saying that this gentleman in military uniform gave a warning shot and walked away.
He was in that camouflage.
And walked away.
Yeah.
Then the uniformed men in mask were trying to enter the MP's, the candidate's house.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
Yes.
And that you and others were trying to prevent them from entering.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
And according to you, a warning shot was given.
Yes.
How many warning shots?
They gave what the warning shot I heard was first 2, and then the people just ran off. But what I heard second was a direct shot, not warning shots.
And how many shots?
Oh, my Lord, it is a lot. A lot, let me say, almost getting to about, it should be around 2021 there.
Now, do you see how many people were firing?
Oh, the way it is, it was the group. Those black and white, black and khaki, those in that, they were firing. And you cannot see a particular person firing because where I am, I've already taken this thing and watching what it was taking. So it was just coming direct like that.
Now, Mr. Tego.
Yes, my Lord.
At the scene, did you see a couple of motorbikes?
In the morning that I saw, I think there were about 3 motorbikes at the left of the fitting shop. And yes, coming from my direction is the left. I just saw motorbikes over there. 2 motorbikes, 3 motorbikes.
Now, what would you say if I suggest to you that the commission has been told that commotion broke up over a key? What would you say?
Yes, I can see that is the main reason. Because when they enter into the scene and were making search, I learned they remove the key. The key, that's the Mahindra car, the vehicle. That's the key they removed. So that is where the whole thing started.
Was that before the first warning shot or afterwards?
No, they did it before the first warning shot.
And you said you were informed. By whom?
My Lord, come again.
Who informed you?
No, I was standing there.
So you saw them remove the key?
I saw when the action was taking place.
What action?
When they came and they were trying to make the search in the car, and the others started, preventing them from that search.
So then, according to you,
yes,
they removed a Mahindra key.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
And what happened after the removal of the key?
But they were forcing to get the key. They were looking for the key. So that is where the problem. I think they saw that one of the guys has removed the vehicle, the car key. So they rushed on him to collect the key from.
You see, Mr. Tego,
Yes, my Lord.
You've told the commission two different things leading to the firing. First of all, you said it was as a result of you and these other members in a group preventing the uniformed men from entering the house of the candidate. I suggested to you that the commission has been told that it was as a result of a key. And according to you, that also happened. So which is which? Is it the key or the prevention that led to the shooting?
My Lord, what happened was this. When they came and they were doing that search, and this the crowd decided not to allow them, I think within that, and they removed the key. Within that, and they removed the key. So it was there that the man in uniform, that camouflage, opened the fire. He gave the warning shot. It was that scene that he opened the first warning shot.
Zatego.
Yes, my Lord.
Were you present at the scene?
Yes, I was then standing at the corner there, as the corner.
What is happening in that video?
Yes, you know, the man in the, you can see the man in the white. They were even struggle handling, they were trying to, take action with those people over there. It was that time that they removed the key, the Mahindra key. So it was that time they were doing that, the route started taking place.
And this scene is not right in front of the candidate's house, am I right?
Yes, it is not in front of the main house. It is where I was saying that from his main entrance, going on the left to the block factory, where the weather was, that's where the car was parked, in front of that stores.
Now, these gentlemen you met in front of the PC's house.
Yeah, hello.
Are they people who live local?
Hello.
Do they live in the area?
Oh, those in the black and the khaki uniform.
No, I mean these other group of people you met.
Yeah.
Not the uniformed men. Do they live in the area?
Oh no, not all of them. Not all of them.
So, in your estimation, how many of them could you identify as living in the area?
My Lord, I can say those even identify living in the area there were those that were in the containers and some two guys that I know. They are the people I can say what I see. But people, most of the guys that I saw over there, they don't live in the area.
Did you find out what brought them there?
Oh, yes. I know they were going to, for the polling stations. So they were preparing to enter into the vehicle. They were in the vehicles to go to the polling stations. But not all of them that I know.
You know they were preparing to go to the polling stations. Can you tell the commission exactly what they were going to the polling stations for?
Yes, most of them were polling agents. So they are now going for their stations.
Now, you said from where you stood,
Yeah.
you saw these uniformed men open fire at the crowd. Am I right?
Yes, I saw them.
And according to you, they were direct shots and no warning shots. Am I right?
Yes, my Lord.
How many people were at the direction of the firing, in your estimation?
My Lord, when the first shot that they were given, when the first one went to the the container, it was there people started running away. And then we can see there was this young man, they shot his leg. He was then standing just opposite the MP's house. Yeah, just opposite the MP's house. So he was about to run away from the scene. And unfortunately, he had that bullet in his leg. And some received some in their shoulders. And I don't know, there was one too that received bullets in his waist. And we treated it with some white man. And I directed them that we should put them in the vehicle. There was some emergency vehicle there. And the one that lost his leg first went we carry him to the vehicle. Then the police men who came there, that is the commander, who came there with police cars that were parked over there. They called me and said there were police cars, so we can bring them there. So I helped, and then we sent those wounded ones to the police car.
Now, you are saying a gentleman who was shot in the leg was right in front of the PC's house.
Opposite.
Opposite.
Very
well. Now, if you say opposite, there is a house opposite and its gate, then there is a container. So where exactly?
Opposite.
In front of the house?
There's a gate in front of that. They are opposite. MP's house is here. Opposite MP's house, there's a gate to a different house. Yes. And the container is by that house.
Was he in front of the house or by the container?
The container is by the house. By the house.
So where was he? In front of the house, the gate, or the container?
He was just closer to the entrance. He was close to the entrance. You can see the gate, there's a pillar. He was standing there. There were two standing there because there was a tree over there. There were two standing there. So he was trying to run away from the scene. And then unfortunately, he had that bullet. But the other one still stuck at the tree there. He was standing there. He didn't even run away. He was standing close to he was holding the wood, the tree over there.
At the time of the shooting, were these gentlemen you've described, I mean those who perpetrated the act, on the direction of the school or the other way around?
No, they were not. The direction wasn't at the school. The back was facing the high tension. Their back was facing the high tension, and they were facing directly to the containers and the cars that parks over there. So the shooter was going direct to the cars and the containers over there.
So would you say the school was behind them or in front of them?
The school, can I say, the school is, let me say behind, because it's not even close to the scene.
Now, in one of the videos, when you were being interviewed, you are heard saying that members of the Invincible Forces came and attacked you. Am I right?
In my Lord, I can say I didn't say they came to attack me.
But then you were emphatic when you said members of the Invisible Forces. Am I right?
Yeah, I said it because I got to know that they are not police and they are not soldiers, but they are invisible forces.
When did you get to know and from whom?
No, my Lord, in the scene, I asked, who are those people? And they said they are invisible forces. Yes. So that's where I got to know that it's invisible forces.
But you saw some of these men with the inscription NSC. Am I right?
Yes, I saw. Yes, I was about to say it. I saw some with the NXC. So I was saying, who are these people? NXC. So somebody was saying, oh, it's national security. I said, oh, is that so? And even I was telling them that, hey, national security, is that the way they react? If they are coming for even a search, then the way they run and coming to the scene, then it's serious, because national security, I don't know. Actually, I don't know the way they have been trained for.
Mr. Tego.
My Lord. Yes, my Lord.
As at the time you granted that interview, these men had been at the scene and left. Am I right?
Yes, my Lord.
And as at that time, you had been told or you had seen them with that embossment NSC. Am I right?
Yes, my Lord.
And someone had explained to you that the NSC meant National Security Council. Am I right?
Yes,
and
my Lord.
yet, in the interview, you were very emphatic that they were invisible forces. What informed that?
My Lord, I said this because in the interview, you can see I said it, I don't know, I said it before I asked what is it? I asked somebody. Because I was told they are invisible forces. But I saw something. Not even those that I saw, not all of them were in that NXC. Some were wearing black without the distance, but I saw a particular NSC among those guys over there. So that's why I was even asking the other guy, somebody, why I mean, who is this? And they say it's national security.
So then, now that you have seen National Security Council, do you still stand by your belief that they were invisible forces?
My Lord, I cannot say yes, but what I know is those who came there are invisible forces.
What you know.
What I know is invisible forces. Because I asked and he says invisible forces. But I asked the other guy, I saw one guy with an exit over there.
And this your knowledge is informed by what you gathered from one of the people in the crowd. Am I right?
Oh, that was when even they have left. That is when the guys have left.
Thank you, Mr. Tego. Mr. Chairman, your witness.
Thank you, too.
Mr. Tego, do you know Mr. Delali, the NDC parliamentary candidate?
My Lord, yes, I know him before he became a parliamentary candidate.
How long have you known him?
My Lord, we live in the same area.
How long have you known him?
My Lord, almost about 8 years.
Is somebody that you talk to and you know him in a personal way?
Yeah, my Lord, I know him in personal, but I'm not in the. Then I was not in terms with him.
You were not what?
I was not in talking terms with him. I am not close to him, but I know him. I know his house.
You've never had any relationship with him?
No, my Lord.
Now, the people who were in front of his house, do you know who they were?
Those
who don't live there.
My Lord, actually, I don't know, but I knew because of the by-election. That's why the people came down there. Because when they were in the vehicle, I knew they were, from what I asked, and I know they said they were going for the polling stations. So it was those guys that I saw over there. And even those that came there, plenty. Was like when people came there, people within the area also started coming.
Now you say you don't know Mr. Delali on a personal basis. Why did you take it upon yourself to help to prevent these people who were trying to enter his house?
Yes, my
Why
Lord.
did you take it upon yourself to stop them from entering the house?
Yes, my Lord. We all hear what is going on in the system at the moment. And it's like election time, by-election, let me put it this way. When I was among, because it's like not even me alone. I was among when they were doing that because you don't know where they are coming from. And with their dress, they are dressing, the dress they put on, I've never seen some before. So we decided that no, maybe there might be some wicked people somewhere. So we have to try to, since we are neighbors, we have to try to let those people go. That is why I joined to help asking them to vacate from the scene.
So did you eventually go and vote?
Yes, my Lord.
After
the scene.
You went and you
I
voted?
went and yes.
Okay, now you said 2 warning shots were fired.
Yes,
right?
my Lord.
And then about 20 shots were fired directly at the crowd.
Yes, my Lord.
A crowd consisting of how many people?
And during that time, the time arrived, the crowd I saw was almost getting to 60. 50 to 60. But later on, a lot came. But with the warning shot, it made some, when they dispersed the crowd, people just ran away from the scene.
The shots that were fired directly at the crowd.
Yeah, that makes the people to run away.
No. How many people were present when the shots were fired directly at them?
Yes, my lord, it was when the warning shot took place, people started running away. And after that, that is where they were giving the direct shot now.
So
yes.
At that time, how many people were there facing the direct shots?
And there were people around the scene. But when we started carrying the wounded ones to the vehicles, some just left the scene.
You can't tell me how many people were directly in front of or facing the warning shots?
My lord, for that, people were there, but I cannot say. It was not enough. It was not plenty people. Yes.
And when you say the shots were fired directly at those people,
yeah,
you mean these people aimed directly at the people standing there?
Yes, my lord.
And how many people were hit by the shots?
Yes, by the shots, one young man, had it on the leg. I think on the, I don't know whether the right or the left leg. And then one had it on the shoulder. The other one received it by the waist. And there was this other young guy. He's very young. The bullet entered into, his head, his hand. Yes. And all this, some received some minor, I think the bullet, the way it came, some received some minor injury. So we went there, those even that joined the vehicle, that we carried to the police vehicle. To me, it was 5 that I saw. And they were the people that I asked to, or we carried them to the police vehicle.
And you said that some shots were also fired at a tree.
Yes, some enter into the tree, some enter into the containers, some enter into vehicles, parked vehicles over there.
Yeah, the ones that entered into the tree, were the shots being fired at people standing at the tree or?
Yes, my lord. There was a man standing there. There was a man standing there when the bullet hit the tree.
I see. How many people did you assist into the vehicle to be taken to the hospital?
My lord, the man with the leg, the waist one, there was this man with he had the bullets at the shoulder. Then there was other one too, and like they were about 5. So I asked them, everybody, they should try to enter into the police vehicle, so that because the policeman called me that the vehicle is there. By then the vehicle has parked at the block factory. So that is where we send them to, and they send them to the hospital. But actually, I don't know the hospital they send them to.
You also said that a stone was thrown from nowhere.
Yes, my lord.
It was thrown by whom?
My lord, I cannot identify that person.
It was thrown at whom?
That stone went directly to where the invisible forces were.
It was thrown at the invisible forces?
They threw it directly at the top. So it went and fell there.
It was thrown from where?
From where the crowd was. And it went to where the invisible forces were standing.
Now, so you state categorically that these people were members of the invisible forces?
Yes, my Lord. Because the way I saw their dressings and the way they came with, and their reactions alone tells me that they are not security personnel. They are not professionals.
But even if they were not professionals or they were not security men, why did you conclude that they were members of the invisible forces?
My Lord, that's why I said, somebody told me, these people are invisible forces.
Who told you?
In the crowd.
That person, do you know him?
My Lord, it was a crowd, so you cannot even identify even the person who said that to me.
And you accepted what that person said, that they were
invisible
members
forces.
of the invisible forces?
So that, yes, my Lord. That's why I also use these invisible forces.
Thank you, Mr. Tego, for your evidence. You say you are an electrician?
Yes, my Lord.
On the 31st of January, were you going to work?
No, my Lord.
You are taking a holiday?
I'm self-employed.
Oh, so you don't always work?
It is time when there's no work, I have to relax in the house.
Oh, so you were going to vote?
Yes, my Lord.
Where do you vote?
At the school. Ayawaso school there. Where's Ayawaso? The school.
So you were on your way to the school to go and vote?
Yes, my Lord.
And then you saw somebody you knew in the crowd?
Yes, my
Who
Lord.
was this person?
A friend of mine.
Yeah. Who was he?
He's my normal friend. He's a friend to me.
Who was he? Somebody you would stop to go and talk to because he's your friend. You know the person.
Oh, yes, my Lord. I know the person.
So who was he?
I normally we normally call ourselves. He called me Captain. I also call him Frank.
He calls you Captain and you call him Frank.
Frank, yes.
Is there any reason why you'll be called Captain when you're an electrician?
I went to military training and I came home. So it was there, some see me and they call me Captain.
Oh, you used to be a soldier?
Not real soldier. I had a training, but I didn't pass out.
You dropped out of military training?
Yes, my Lord.
You dropped out of Teshi military training, or you were a member of the People's Militia?
I was at Tamale.
6BN. You went for training at 6BN and you could not stay to graduation. Can you give him a microphone that works, please?
Yes, my Lord.
So when your military career did not take off, you became an electrician?
Yeah, I was electrician before I entered.
Oh, okay. So in civilian life, you've been earning your living as an electrician?
Yes, my Lord.
And so you saw Frank in the crowd?
Yes, my Lord.
And you went to him to go and chat with him?
We started chatting.
And then you saw these people coming, and you decided to stay?
Yeah, I stopped there. Even the Frank, even he ran away. He ran from the scene.
So the person you went to talk to ran from the scene, but you decided to stay?
Yes,
Because you have
I wanted
military
to see
training.
what is happening.
And then you saw these people, and you said they were not official forces.
Yes, my Lord.
Because you saw their uniform and you didn't think it was official uniform.
Yes, my Lord. And their reactions.
And their reactions.
Yes, my Lord.
You know how official people react.
My Lord, the little that I learned from the training, that alone tells me that those people coming are not fully trained security personnel.
So they could not be badly trained security personnel.
Yeah, my Lord, the reactions alone is something that I cannot guarantee that they are professionals.
But you don't have a register of all professional security people.
My Lord, the letter that I received from military and the letter that I see also from police is quite different from...
Familiar?
My Lord, no.
You sound very convinced. It's because you have definite information.
No, my Lord. I saw them and I know the way they react. A professional police or a professional soldier would not react that way.
If a professional soldier had been sent to search and he met a crowd of people resisting, what would a professional soldier do?
Yes, my Lord. Even with the uniform.
What would a professional soldier do?
He will open first warning shot. And the warning shot alone would drive the people away.
But you said you were with this, you saw this guy in military camouflage who fired a warning shot, and the people did not run away. Instead, they charged at him, so he turned and left.
Some ran away, and some didn't even run away. So we that are closer to him, we decided to go closer to him to ask him why and what is happening. It was there he returned. He started going to the main street. So when...
Mr. Tego, are you a member of the militia?
Yes, my Lord, I've joined militia before.
That would explain why you were not afraid of firing and so on. And the people that you saw there, were they also former members of some militia you knew?
No, my Lord.
Nobody?
No, the faces I saw and the way I was looking at them, they are not.
You seem to know exactly what people should be like.
No, my Lord, but a trained security personnel, I mean, the way even they came alone tells like they were coming for war. And my Lord, even if they are coming for search, I was even asking them, I think, one of them that, who is your leader? So that we can talk to your leader. He was not able to answer.
Mr. Tego, you were going to vote. You spotted a friend in a crowd. You went to chat with him. An incident developed. Your military training told you that then you stay and fight the people.
My Lord.
Or you are supposed to take cover and assess what the development is?
My Lord, I try to stay and see what is taking place.
And you even interviewed the people. Who is your leader?
Yes, my Lord.
You joined the group
Yes,
of people you found there,
yeah,
whom you did not know.
Yes, my Lord.
So you had no way of knowing if anybody had done anything that had drawn this force into the area.
Yes, my Lord.
And then you were heard on camera saying the Invincible Forces attacked us. Are you a member of the Invisible Forces?
Not the invisible. I'm not a member of the Invisible Forces.
Then how do you know the people who attacked you are Invisible Forces and not any of the fancy names that people have taken these days?
Yes, my Lord, it was in the crowd that I heard that they were Invisible Forces.
You heard something in the crowd?
I heard that among the people there were saying that they were Invisible Forces.
How did they know? How did the people in the crowd you can't identify know?
My Lord, for that,
who the people?
For that I cannot say, but I heard from them.
Are you used to repeating rumor?
My Lord, no, but it was a word that I heard that they are Invisible Forces.
But you said so with such conviction, and you have been maintaining here that you are right. But you don't even know. You heard it from somebody you can't identify, just in the same way you couldn't identify who threw the stone.
Yes, my Lord, because I don't know, but I heard that they are Invisible Forces. That is why I also use Invisible Forces.
So what your own eyes told you when you saw NSC on the shirt was not enough. But what you heard in a crowd from somebody you couldn't identify was more convincing.
My Lord, I saw NSC, and it was there I was asked, who are these people? But even the NSC I saw, not all of them were NSC T-shirt in the black. I saw some, I think, 2 or 3. And I saw that there's NSC. So I told even somebody by me that, what is it? NSC is another group of people or something like that. And then somebody came behind, say, oh, it's national security. So I was just looking at them.
I'm sure you won't be able to identify the person who gave you that information either.
No, my Lord.
You said there were people on a Mahindra vehicle.
Yes, my Lord.
What color was the Mahindra vehicle?
It was like, is it light? It was light green or something like that. If I'm right.
I don't know. You knew the make of the vehicle.
I saw the. It was either light green vehicle. There were 2, light green, something like that.
2 light green vehicles.
Yeah.
And they were carrying people who were going to be polling assistants.
Yes, people joined the vehicle. They are going, as they asked, and they said they are going for polling stations. They are going to distribute them to at the polling stations.
So these people you found that they had arrived there on the Mahindra vehicle?
Mahindra vehicle was there, and after the selection, they were joining the vehicles.
After the selection?
I think after the selection. But
what selection?
The polling agents. After giving them, after they've set everything, they were joining the vehicles to their...
at 7 o'clock?
At the polling, yes, around 7:30 there.
And you were going your own way, minding your own business. And then you saw a friend, you went to say hi to the friend, and you saw Mahindra vehicles, you saw people being selected to join the Mahindra vehicles and all of that?
Yes, my Lord. It was this when I asked them, they said, oh, these people, they are going for the polling stations. And I said, oh, okay.
And you did not then decide to continue to go and vote, but to stay?
My Lord, we were still standing chatting because it was early in the morning. We feel you've seen your friend and you are talking to him before even the incident took place.
But when your friend fled, you didn't flee.
No,
you
my
stayed.
Lord. I stayed, my Lord.
You said you put the wounded people in a vehicle, and then somebody told you there were police vehicles.
Yeah, there was a policeman who told me their vehicle is parked at the block factory.
But you said those people, the policeman, he's a DSP, not ASP, as you thought.
It was the DSP. It's a DSP Asari. I saw it on his chest.
Yes.
Yes.
And you said he came after those people had left.
Yes, he came in. When he came, he was coming from the direction of where the block factory was with his people. So it was there when I told them, well, they should come. But as soon as they were going to see those people, they also ran to the park.
Where is the block factory? We were there, but I don't recall seeing a block factory.
The block factory, when you are coming from there's a fitting shop. There's a fitting shop just by the MP's house. There's a lane.
Yes, there's a lane in front of the MP's house.
Yes.
Where the trees are.
Where the trees are.
Where's the fitting shop?
You will not go down to the high tension when the main baller is. But rather,
I didn't see any baller either.
My Lord.
You go, if you are coming to the MP's house, and you go by the school.
Yes, my Lord.
There's a wall that you have to climb, or in my case, swing over.
Yeah, that is when you are coming from the park.
Yes.
Yes. But this one,
the front.
When you are coming from the main, from the school, the wooden stretch where they have
but the school is not near where you are talking.
The main building is at the school there, but they have a wooden stretcher that the children were in before they moved to the main stretch, the block one. That one is close even to the fitting shop. And there,
but it's no longer a school.
It's no longer a school.
But the way you talk of school block, as if
it's no more a school. They've moved from there to the main
So it's
building.
just a block, a wooden block.
A wooden stretcher.
And then there were vehicles parked.
That's the fitting shop.
That's the fitting shop. Okay.
In front of the fitting shop, that is where there's another lane.
Yes,
there.
I remember seeing that lane.
That is where the block factory is.
That is where the block factory is. And you said the Mahindra was parked where?
Just at the cave. In front of the containers beside the MP's house.
Or on the opposite side?
At the opposite side.
Okay. Where the bullets hit?
The bullet hit on the right side. But this one is on the left side. When you are coming from that lane, before you turn, the vehicles were parked over there.
And so where were the Mahindra vehicles during all of this shooting?
The cars were there. The cars were parked over there.
But they were not hit?
For that, I didn't see any bullets to the vehicles. But there were other vehicles that I saw that the bullets hit.
Were you armed?
No, my Lord.
We hear that some people were shooting. That's why the force that came also started firing warning shots.
Oh, my Lord, it was not true.
It was not true.
It was not true.
You didn't hear any firing?
Firing was not taking place there. No shooting, except when this black and this khaki.
You call
came
them
in.
the force. So
The national security.
you call them the force.
The force.
Whatever they were.
Yeah.
They were the ones who shot.
They were the one who shot, yes.
But there was no shooting before.
No, my lord.
Or no shooting after.
No.
So when were the people who were wounded? When were they shot?
It was when they gave the warning shot too, and people started running. It was there they started giving the direct shots.
Where were you?
But then I was standing at the corner of the building. I was standing corner.
You were not running.
No, my lord.
You were waiting to be shot.
My lord, no. I was watching what is taking place.
Mr. Tego,
Yes, my
for
lord.
somebody who has undergone military training and know that no bullet has a name written on it, you were very bold.
My lord, naturally, that is how I am. When I see a scene like this, I normally like to see what is happening over there. So that is the reason why I hid myself somewhere and watching what was taking place.
Where you hid yourself, could you see the people firing?
Where I were, you can see the fire. What I hear the sound, the continuous one. I heard the continuous one before I saw the man with the one who had is it the left, the one?
But you don't know who was shooting.
My lord, it was coming directly from that side, but I cannot even identify the person who opened the shot.
You said the people did not come in one group. One group came from the back side, where I was describing, and another group came from the front. Yes. So how do you know who was shooting?
My lord, those that they were, they divided themselves. So when they passed,
I wasn't there, so I want to know.
My lord, when those that came from the park and those that came from the wooden structure there, they all met at one place. And that was in the video you can see where there was this this thing over there, misunderstanding over there because of the key. So it was there. They were fought, but then there were people in front of the MP's house. So from there, they were trying to enter into the MP's house, and we said no, they shouldn't. Because I asked one guy, who is your leader? And he couldn't even tell me anything.
But you are not a part of what was going on there. So what was your business interviewing people who had come on operation, who their leader is and all of that?
My lord.
Or you were in charge, or you were in charge of the people who were hanging out there?
No, my lord. Because
Did you know anybody there apart from this friend of yours who fled?
Oh, people who came there, I don't know them, but the thing is...
You just decided to play officer commanding.
As a citizen, my lord, we all live in the community. And
Silence,
as I saw what was taking place. My lord, the later training I have had from the military, I decided to, that is the main reason I was able to approach him and say, what was happening and who is your leader, so that I can speak to your leader. But nothing like that happens.
So if you had been arrested for obstructing people on duty, what would you have said?
My lord, that is where I can see it will be a big problem. Because they rather were forcing to enter, and we stopped them that they shouldn't enter because they couldn't identify themselves.
You were not a part of a group. You had just gone to say hello to us, so you didn't know who was there. And somebody came trying to do something, and you said, no, I won't let you. Who is your leader? And don't you think you were a bit...
My lord, let me say something. Within our area, there was a time armed robbers entered into one woman house. This auto part house. And there were people gathering around the area. And there was a lady inside who ran to our direction where we were sitting. And he came, he said, oh, we should come and help, but armed robbers has attacked them. My Lord, we all live in the same area, so we all rushed to the scene. But the later military training, I was able to enter into the house. And in fact, I was there trying to get hold of any of them before even the police came. When the police came, I was having a sign, I was telling them they shouldn't even open fire, they should wait, but the people are inside. So I give them the direction before even the military also arrived. So, my Lord, I believe it. I believe that when we are in the area and people like this has arrived within the area, we all have to contribute. And then we try to solve the issue so that the place will become. That is the main reason why I also joined the group. That we should, let me see, if there's a senior, we can talk to the senior. Maybe the senior can even explain that, oh, this is the reason why we are here. We can even talk to the crowd. Because the way they were doing, the crowd were anxious that they did not even allow them to enter, and they were also forcing that they wanted to enter. If there is a senior man, my Lord, he should have even come out with some reasonable explanation, and we can also maybe allow them either to enter into the house.
Mr. Tego.
Yes, my Lord.
Were you the leader of this group? Resisting the force that came?
No, my Lord. I was not a leader. We were all helping.
In the military training you had, you were told that if somebody asked your identity, you should produce it, never mind who it was?
No, my Lord.
Thank you.
Mr. Aite Tego.
Yes, my Lord.
Are you tired?
No, my Lord.
You want to drink some water?
Thank you, my Lord.
Thank you, meaning you want to drink or you don't want to drink?
My Lord, I took some before coming.
Okay. Have you lied in your life before? Have you lied in your life before?
Oh, my Lord, as a woman, I might even sometimes say something which is, let me say, yes.
Say to a woman.
I might even say something which is a lie. Yes.
How about today? Have you lied?
No, my Lord.
And you're a very brave person.
Thank you, my Lord.
Very brave.
Thank you, my Lord.
Very observant. You're very observant.
Yes, my Lord.
When you are somewhere, you try to see what is happening so that you may remember, if anything, then you have to tell somebody. So you are very observant.
Yes, my Lord.
The training that you had, and what year was this?
My Lord, that was 86.
How old are you?
My Lord, I'm 54.
So, 86, how old were you? In 86, how old were you?
My Lord, I was then 20. Yes, I was around 21, 22 there.
And was it regular army or this PDDC?
It was a regular army.
Regular recruitment?
Regular recruitment.
Where did you start the recruitment process?
We started at EWAC.
And what did you go through?
We went through physical selections. After that, we did athletics or something like that. And we did exams. And then we went to medical checkup.
And then you were sent to the Tamale?
Yes.
Training center. You were there for how many months?
I stayed there almost for 4 months.
4 months. Yes. Then what happened?
There were some other, I can say some spiritual something. So I have to leave the scene.
Spiritual, like what?
There was some attacks
On you?
on me, yeah.
By
We cannot identify.
By
I cannot
spirit?
identify.
By spirits?
Yes, my Lord.
So how did it happen? The attacks?
My Lord, I just wake up and it came to me that I should leave the scene.
The first time the attack happened, or several occasions?
It happens about 3 times. And then even during that time, the commander over there, our RAFO trainer, and at the medical center, they all advised me to relax. But yesterday I insisted of coming home. So I was allowed to come home.
You mean, did the attacks occur when you were sleeping or when you were doing exercises?
When I was sleeping.
So you see something?
Yes, my Lord.
You dream or you see something in reality?
Well, I can say I dreamed about it.
And what were the things that you were dreaming of?
My Lord, those days, it was like I cannot sleep, and there was some warnings.
Warnings?
Yes.
From the spirit?
Yes, my Lord.
That what?
I should leave the scene.
You leave the military?
Yes.
And you told the commanding officer that the first time, did you tell them that I've had some warnings from the spirits?
I told them I am not in good faith, but if I don't take time, I will die. So I have to come home.
Die from what?
That is what I told them, because the way I was then feeling, I was taken to the one lieutenant colonel, who is a lady at the military at the
clinic,
at the hospital there, and he said, "No, Tego, I will make sure you go. But if you go and then you feel you're okay, let us know, and then that's all you return."
Before you went for the military training, had you experienced these spirits before?
No, my Lord.
That was your first time?
No, my Lord. That was my first time.
And after you left the military, have you experienced those spirits before?
No, up to today.
When you came home, did you go to any hospital or any spiritualist?
I went to a church. I went to hospital. Hospital declared that nothing. I'm physically fit.
Mentally too?
Mentally sound.
And the church said?
And the church is, my Lord, they will tell you so many things, but you cannot.
Like what?
My Lord, they say it's from my house.
What exactly from your house?
What is worrying me, the spirit that is disturbing me is from my house. So I said, okay, fine.
So since then,
yes, they don't want me to be a military person.
Military person.
Yeah.
So
because in our military, in our family, there are a lot of military men, but they don't want me. So I have
don't
to.
Want you to.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell you before when you were doing all the recruitment exercises, the spirits didn't warn you.
Nothing happens.
Probably they didn't see that you were trying to go to the military.
Exactly. When I was going to the training, I was going for all this checkup when military, like body selections and other things. I didn't even inform anybody. I went and did everything. When it gets to the medical checkup, that is where, people started saying that if you don't take time, they fail a lot of people. So it was there that I alerted my brother and my mother that I wanted to go to military. So I was taken to my uncle. And then he asked me, do you want to go? I say yes.
Your uncle is a soldier?
Yeah, he's a soldier.
What rank?
No, it was a major.
Major?
Oleno.
Oleno. Yes. Where was he stationed?
By then he was at Mass. So we went to his house. Yes. And he called the 37 and he said, oh no, if your uncle didn't even tell us that somebody is coming like that, with you, we cannot even fail you.
Oh, okay. So because of your uncle, they didn't fail you?
Not because of but I passed everything.
So that probably after you told your uncle, that's when the spirits started noticing that you were going to the military.
My Lord, I cannot, I will not know.
Yeah, you said that before.
Yes, before I didn't have this
And
problem.
I'm saying that the spirits didn't see through the air or through their vision until you told your uncle.
I told my mother.
Your mother.
So it was my mother who took me to my uncle.
So maybe your mother told the spirits.
My Lord, for that I don't know.
Okay. Now, on that day, what were you wearing?
I was in I was wearing shirt with
what color?
Green, blue, some dots. I can. Yes, that kind of some designs in it.
Green and what?
Green and white. Green and white, cream. It wasn't one color. It wasn't two colors. I think about 3 or 4 colors. Yes.
Did you have black in it?
Yes.
So multicolored shirt?
Yes, my Lord.
And when you got there, you saw people in this Mahindra vehicle, 2 vehicles.
Yeah, I saw some people in the vehicle.
How many people boarded the vehicle? You said they were being sent to the polling station.
Those I saw in the vehicle, my Lord, at the back there, I saw these people. I saw about 7 people here. In the front one, too, I saw. Yeah, in the front, there were 3 guys sitting down there. They were sitting at the back of the Mahindra. It's like the pickup type. So they were sitting at the back there.
And thereafter, something happened and there was a warning shot.
Yes, my Lord.
How do you know it was a warning shot? That first one.
The first one, even the one who opened the first shot, was the one I said is in the Mufti.
Yes, but how do you know it was a warning shot? Where was the gun pointed?
My Lord, at the top.
Upstairs?
Upstairs, my Lord.
And the shot went into the trees?
It went straight direct.
Yeah, could it have entered into those trees? Trees, the trees around.
Where he was standing. No, it goes straight. I don't think it would have entered into the leaves over there, the neem trees over there. No.
Did the shell subsequently fall down?
Yeah, for that, I didn't see the shells. Yes.
But then later on, when the situation calmed down and some people were collecting shells, did you see them?
Oh, yes, I saw some were holding some of the shells.
Or how many people?
Some were holding some of the shells. I even saw it. Me, myself, even I saw one. I collected it from the guy, and I was telling this is a pistol. The way it was, it might be a pistol, something like that, shells. So I was holding it, and I saw this white, there's a tall man wearing top, white. And he was holding some of the shells in the plain rubber.
Plain rubber, okay.
Yes.
Rubber bag?
No. This rubber.
Polythene.
This ice water rubber.
Okay.
He was holding some in it. And it's like when you hold it and you see him and you say, these are some of the shells, then he just added to it.
So he was collecting from
people? He was then collecting it from the people, yeah.
You don't know that man?
I don't know him.
The first time...
It's a tall man.
Okay, the first time you saw him with some, how many were they, rough estimate?
Rough estimate, the one he was holding then, it was around, if I'm true, it might be around 12 or something like that.
And you
in
saw
his hand.
People collecting some and
they collected some in the
around the area.
Some, even the blood, something. I was standing there where some guy took some and said, this is some of the shells, and they put it in.
And so at the end of it, did you notice how many?
No, what I saw him holding, I just saw him when he was holding it. And I said, okay, fine. It was there, man.
Did you see that man again?
Ever since the incident happens and everybody went.
Did you ask who he was?
No.
Okay. Now, so after this first shot, which you said was in the air,
Yes, my Lord.
you said later on you joined some people to prevent this force from entering the house.
Yes, my Lord.
These uniformed people.
Yes, my Lord.
And then, when did the second batch of shots start?
It took a time because those in the uniform, not at the instance when the first one opened the shot. They were, because they were, then wanted to enter into the house and were trying to prevent them from entering into the house. It took some time. It took some time. Well, about 30 minutes, let me put it that way. It took about some 30 minutes before.
And what provoked the second batch of shots?
There was a stone.
Thrown
Yeah.
from where?
From behind the hand.
Okay,
So,
hold on. If you are coming from the school,
yes.
the school is this way. You are coming into that lane.
Yes.
This is Mr. Brimpon's house.
Yes.
If you are coming from the school,
Yes.
his will be on the left.
Yes.
And then this factory will be on the right.
On the right.
Understand they do
The
barbed wire.
Barbed wire, yeah.
Okay, will be on the right. And then where were you?
I was standing at the corner of Mr. Brimpon's
House.
house.
So this corner.
That corner.
So you
This
go,
very
if you come from the school, you go past the gate to the corner where you were standing.
When you are coming from the block factory, you
Yes, the
pass
one you are
like
coming
this.
from the school.
Yeah, from the school, then either you are coming from the school park and you join that small before you come to Mr. Bripon's place. But when you are coming from the block factory,
No. Let's stay with when you are coming from the school.
okay.
Where are you?
I was then standing at Mr. Brimpon's house, close to the house, where the prevent is.
That's why I'm saying that if you are coming from the school,
Yes, my Lord.
there are two corners. This one from the school,
Yes.
and then this one from the main road where the vehicles are.
Yes, my Lord.
And then his gate is in the middle.
That's my Lord.
So are you standing at the first corner from the school or the second corner if you are coming from the main road?
Yes, I'm standing at the second corner there,
From
where
the-
the Mahindra vehicle.
From the main road. If you are coming from the main road.
No, our main road is where the school is, where the wooden stretcher is.
No, not the school. I mean the other. When you are on the main road
Yes.
and you want to go to Mr. Bempon's place,
Place.
you turn left, isn't it?
You turn left.
And when you turn left, there are a lot of vehicles parked there,
Yes.
and there are a lot of trees.
Yes.
And I'm saying that, and then you went and stood by Mr. Bempon's corner.
House. Yes, that's its corner there.
So at that time, that would be right. You are coming from the main road, so that would be right.
That would be right.
Yes. And the first person who shot, where was he standing?
He was standing. There's this electricity pole
Yes.
there.
In front of Mr. Bempon's house.
No.
Where?
Where the fitting shop,
Yes.
where the fitting shop was, there's this electricity pole there.
That's where he was.
That is where.
Were you
he-
close to him?
No. I wasn't close. I was standing at the on his pavement.
Or how many yards were you from him, or meters?
From there to, it should be about, if I'm not lying, it will be about 15 meters or 20 meters.
Did you ask him why he fired the warning shot?
My Lord, that's why I said when he opened the shot, people ran.
But you
And
didn't
some-
run. You didn't run.
I didn't run. So I was then going there. Personally, I was going closer to him. But whilst I was going, he was also going. He passed in front of the wooden stretcher.
That's the man that you see was.
He
in
was
the-
with this something like mesh.
So
or
at the
something.
time that the second shots were being fired, the several shots, you said there were several. the
Several
second batch,
shots, yeah.
He was not there.
But then he has left. Right? He went and joined the main road, so he left.
And when the second shots were being fired, were they being fired towards where the vehicles were?
Exactly.
So where were the force that was firing towards the vehicle?
They were standing at the other side there. Like when you were coming from the park.
Where the vehicles are?
No, the vehicles were here, but they were coming from the park. That when you were coming from the park.
Yes. So through this lane?
Through this lane, yeah.
And I'm talking about the crowd. Where were they?
Yes, the crowd were at where the vehicles were parked.
Yes.
And some were even behind those guys.
Yeah, the majority were where the vehicles were
Vehicles were parked, yes.
And you said there were a lot of people?
There was a lot of people.
About 60?
Yes.
So that's at the time of firing the first shot?
Yes.
At the time of firing the second shot, how many were left?
My Lord, when it comes to that time, when it's happening like that, everybody was trying to find somewhere to.
Except you?
I was standing at the corner there.
So most of the people were
Most
running.
of the people ran away. And then the firing now take direct shot because I heard the one on the container. Going to the container, some came straight to those cars that are parked over there.
So you were standing and watching the...
I was at the corner there.
And you were seeing the bullets flying?
I was watching what was taking place. So I was watching them like this.
And you were seeing the bullets flying?
You can see, my Lord, you can see as soon as the bullet hits something, you will hear it.
And the bullets, were the crowd, I mean, who was the tallest person among the crowd? About?
My Lord, this thing, it should be very difficult for me to know the highest one.
Average crowd, isn't it?
My Lord, I cannot know that.
But
the tallest one.
They were shooting shooting this way.
They were shooting this way.
The weapon was about this way.
Yes, my Lord.
Not this way.
No.
Not this way.
No. Some, they were just shooting.
Take your time.
My Lord, they were shooting just like that.
Shooting at the crowd.
Yeah.
So they were not pointing the weapons this way.
And that is where I cannot see that they pointed the weapon. But what I saw was the shooting was taking place.
Don't worry, take your time. Mr. Benpon's gate, people are in front.
Yes.
Where you were hiding to, some people are somewhere, isn't it?
Yes, my Lord.
And you are hiding and seeing the force firing at the people.
Yes, my Lord.
Were they firing at the people in front of Mr. Benpon's gate or the other group standing towards the vehicles?
The bullets, what I saw, most of these bullets I saw was those ones that enter into the container, and one that even enter into.
The troops are coming from this side, isn't it?
Yeah, the troops are coming from that side.
And you are hiding somewhere.
Yes, I'm there. Yeah.
This is the gate of Mr.
Benpon's house.
And this is the warehouse.
We heard it at
And
our
this
place.
is about
More than 50 to... And those who ran off, but even those that they were firing, we all at the corners.
and nobody was hit.
Some was hit.
No, I mean, nobody died.